What's up, everyone? This is the Next Tape podcast with Mikel and
Tanyka.
where we have conversations on different topics. So, November is almost done. Tanyka, did you had a good November?
Yeah, I mean November was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Same old.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah. A lot of birthdays come in November. I know a lot
Oh,
of
well,
people's
that
birthdays are in November.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, my boyfriend's birthday is in November, beginning
Mm-hmm.
of November, and then
Yeah,
my ex and my grandmother
yeah,
and a family
yeah.
friend. My ex, my grandma, my family friend, all on the same day.
Yeah, yeah. I have a few.
Month before Christmas.
See, see, I told you. So I have a few friends who were born November, and yeah, it's crazy how a lot of people are born in November.
Yeah,
So yeah. So,
yeah.
anyways, so on today's episode, we're going to be talking about our monthly uh Netflix watch for November,
Mhm.
and a little bit of news as well, just a tiny bit of news that we're going to talk about this on this episode that's kind of related to Netflix, but you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, for me, I did not watch anything that's Netflix or outside of Netflix. So Tanika's just gonna um tell her tell us what she watched on Netflix.
Mhm.
So,
Actually, I realize I also have news that's also
mhm.
Netflix related, so we'll
Okay,
we'll do that as
okay,
well.
okay, all right.
Um Yeah, so just want to preface on the top of the episode
Mhm.
that we're probably not going to be doing honorable mentions,
Mhm,
since
mhm,
I only have the stuff that I
mhm,
watched. And then we're also not going to be doing any coming up on, like
mhm,
what's coming in December, since we're not
mhm,
doing a December Netflix episode.
mhm,
But that won't take away from the fact that we're still doing a extra long episode in January. So,
mhm,
off the top, um, the first thing I'm gonna talk about is actually not related to Netflix.
mhm, mhm,
It's actually Disney Plus slash Hulu, it's technically Hulu.
mhm.
And it was the Amanda Knox um docu-series that they did. It's
Yeah,
called The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox.
I've never
Um,
I've never heard of that one. That's
do you know the story of Amanda Knox? Because
no,
it's a true story
no.
that they dramatized. You don't know anything about Amanda Knox?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Let's just because I am planning to do an episode about this in the
Mhm,
future. Won't be
mhm,
coming
mhm.
in next year, but um I'll give you the cliff notes.
Right.
Basically, Amanda Knox was a girl who went and studied abroad in Italy, and she was rooming with um 3 other girls.
Mhm,
2 of them were Italian and 1 was British.
mhm,
Her name was, I wanna make sure I get her name right because I don't wanna get her name wrong.
mhm,
Because unfortunately, the victim of the story is very much lost um, in the story of Amanda Knox.
mhm,
Um, so I just wanna make sure I'm pretty sure it's Miranda Kircher, but I just wanna be sure I got her name right.
mhm, mhm,
Sorry, just give me a second. Yes, Meredith Kircher was close. So Meredith
mhm,
Kircher,
mhm,
that's the British um girl that she was rooming with. She was brutally murdered, brutally, and they pinned the authorities, on Amanda Knox and 2 other, actually, scratch that, 3 other
mhm,
men, one of them being her boyfriend. and another one being someone that she worked with. The other one,
Mhm.
well, you have to check back and we'll talk about it then, but
Mhm.
this is
Mhm.
basically what the premise of it is.
Uh,
Um, Now, spoiler alert, Amanda Knox did not commit this murder. Um, the
mm.
story of Amanda Knox is so much about this preconceived notion about a girl who, God forbid, maybe likes to smoke a little pot and have sex sometimes or whatever. It's very much like anyone, this could happen to anyone. It has unfortunately happened to her, where you're getting pinned as a murderer. Now, does she act weird?
Mhm.
Yes, but she didn't commit this crime. Um, so yeah, it's very twisted, as the docuseries is called. It's a very twisted story, and it is so unfortunate that
Mhm.
Meredith Kercher is so lost in the story of Amanda. But that's not Amanda's fault.
Interesting.
It's a very interesting
Mm.
docuseries. I think it was very well done. I think Monster can learn a thing or two from how you can do a show about a crime and do it properly and not
Mhm.
bring things in that's not true and it still be,
Mhm.
I don't want to say entertaining, but good and informative. There's things I didn't know
Mhm.
or didn't remember, and it was so informative. That is how you do a show like this, Ryan Murphy. Just saying. So yeah, it was really well done. Highly recommend it. Again, it's Hulu, or if you don't have Hulu, you can
Mhm.
watch on Disney Plus. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Um,
Mhm.
so another one that I
Mm.
watched, kind of again on the same trope of true crime, but this is a documentary. Eileen, Queen of the Serial
Mhm. Mhm.
Killers. Do you know anything about Eileen Wuornos? Probably not. Miguel?
Eileen Warnos.
Yeah.
No, no, I don't
Do
know
you
who that
remember
is either.
do you remember the
I'm
movie?
sorry. I don't know who that is either.
No, no, no.
So I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you know the movie that Charlize Theron did many years back now, probably like 20 years ago, where she played a serial killer? Do you remember? Like it was a while long. It was a long time ago, but do you remember that movie? It was called Monster.
Mhm.
Do you remember it? No.
No,
No.
I don't remember
Okay.
any of those.
So
Yeah, no.
basically, Eileen Wuornos was a woman who she was she was a sex worker in the 90s.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
would she was said to have killed 7 men. Um Now in her words they were self-defense, which I believe her.
Mhm.
Um but unfortunately at a time where she was a sex worker, at a time where
Seven, 7 men.
7, but they were people, she had plenty of different
Mm.
clients,
Okay. Something.
but for
Mhm.
whatever reason, she only killed these 7. And, uh, how do I say this? She was defending herself as well. I honestly think we'll never fully know the truth, but she was defending herself. And because she was a woman, she was not an attractive woman, but she was a woman.
That's not no. Mhm.
Mm?
Right.
Yeah, she was a woman who was
Oh.
unattractive in the eyes of certain people. And she, um, what's the word I'm looking for? She lived in Florida. she's in the South, and you're automatically seen as a whore, right? And she just wasn't believed. And
Mhm,
unfortunately,
mhm,
she was sentenced to death because this is Florida. Florida's a death sentence. She was sentenced to death
mhm,
on her first charge because
mhm,
each charge was
mhm,
separate. And she was sentenced to death on the first charge. She didn't fight the others. She did not fight her death sentence. She did not want to fight it. She's
mhm.
like, this, I'm out. Just do it. Just kill me. I'm done because you're not going to believe me anyway. So let's just get this over with. And she was
Right.
ultimately put to death early 2000s. I think 2002, 2003. Um so yeah, that's basically, and then the movie came out like not
So,
long after that. So Eileen Wuornos, like she's a woman where it's like, okay, yes, is killing people the wrong thing to do? 1000%. But it's so interesting to see a woman who merely was trying to protect herself, and this was the only way she knew how. She had a
mhm,
horrible hand at life, and she's sentenced to death.
mhm.
Meanwhile, if a man did anything similarly to what she did, he's not put to death. Not even close. So why was she? That's kind of why people tend to, especially women, tend to think very differently about Eileen than maybe other serial killers, especially, and even female serial killers. She's seen very differently.
Right.
This documentary, I think, was so well done because we got to see footage of Eileen talking about her crimes and how consistent she was about the things that she was saying. We got to see footage um of the prosecutor who was responsible for her death sentence literally have his ass handed to him
Mhm.
by a reporter, and how much things really haven't changed in the last 20 years. It was
Mm.
really well done. I thought it was great. Again, another one I highly recommend.
So
Um, go ahead.
I have, I have, I have, I have, I have questions. Like,
Sure, I have
so are
questions.
these seven men? They came at
Mhm.
her at
Sorry?
this time.
They were Johns.
So the seven men, they came at her. So, oh, okay. So they had different type of appointments with her, I
Yes.
would say.
Yeah, she killed them at separate times.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were
Okay,
John.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I just like, hmm.
No, listen,
I just
7
have
men is
like
a lot. Don't get
I
me wrong.
understand. Okay, so yeah, I'm just having a hard time with like basically wrapping my head around with the seven
7 men.
men. I
Well,
just
okay, well, think of it from this perspective because I think
mhm,
you have a privilege of not being able to fully understand the situation. And so do I, because I'm obviously not a sex worker, but I can at least understand it from a female perspective.
mhm,
If you are a sex worker, right? And 9 times out of 10, people do not choose to be sex workers. But if you are a sex worker,
mhm,
you are more susceptible to violence because
right.
people view you as lesser
Yes.
than, right?
Yeah. No, no, I agree with that
Yeah.
100%.
So
Yeah, there's
if I'm going to say another thing too that will maybe make this make a little more sense,
uh-huh.
at least for one of her victims. So, but let me finish this
Yeah,
analogy.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, if you have a client and this client decides he wants to rape you
Mhm,
or beat you
mhm,
or whatever,
mhm,
you are at risk of not only being hurt, but
mhm.
killed. So, and sex workers tend to be murdered in these situations. There
Right.
are plenty of serial killers where they're targets. are sex
Mhm.
workers.
Mhm.
That's just that's how it goes, right?
Right. I
Um,
yeah, I understand that a lot of
right.
there's a lot of men that, when it comes to, like, sex workers treat women like they're just,
Well, sex
object.
workers as well. That's
No, well, I know
lower
there's
than
yeah,
just
yeah, no.
women in their
Yeah, yeah,
eyes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, basically, I understand that. It like okay, let me ask you this question as well.
Mm.
Like, did she like, I understand this is, like, a little bit off, but were these just the 7 men that she just, that she dealt with, or were there, like, other men that were just she was safe with, and when she was, like, doing the sex work in general? Did
No,
she explain that to you?
she said that they tried to hurt her in one way or another. So
Mhm.
no, she did not feel safe with these 7 men.
Uh-huh.
I think there were also this is why I'll say, like, I'm not gonna fully justify her actions
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because there were people that I believe she said were drug addicts, and because that was a trigger for her for reasons
Okay.
that also, you know, made her feel like,
Uh-huh.
well, this person's gonna hurt other people anyway, so let me just hurt this person and
Mhm.
get it over with, kind of thing. That is not how life works.
Mm.
But as a person who dealt with drugs in her life, let's also not forget people who maybe don't know this. She was raped by her grandfather.
Right. Right.
She had a child
Mhm.
that she gave up for adoption who may or may not have been fathered by her grandfather. That people up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was mentally ill.
Yeah.
She was mentally ill till the end,
Yeah.
and she knew she was mentally ill. That's the thing. She knew it because she would say to people, "Do not say that I am crazy, because if you
Mhm.
say I am crazy, it's gonna it's gonna stay her execution." She did
Mm.
not want that. She wanted to die.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, like if you are a sex worker, you fear for your life or you've had things that happen to you,
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to carry a gun,
Yeah.
especially in the States,
Yeah,
because
100 bits.
obviously you can. And
Mhm.
secondly, you need to protect yourself against these men.
Mhm.
I totally get that.
Mhm.
Now, here's the other thing. Two things I'm going to say about Eileen. There was a person who came forward. I don't know if they were a witness at the trial for her, but they did come forward and they did say, "Hey, listen, I was one of her clients. I was with her. She never hurt me. Nothing happened because maybe
Okay.
that person didn't try to hurt her."
Right, okay,
It
so she
wasn't
had
like she only had these 7 clients. She had hundreds,
oh, okay,
but
so
only
she
these
had
7 were the
7.
ones that were killed.
Okay. That
Right.
answered that answered my question.
That's the
Okay.
context.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, right, okay.
And the victim that she was, ultimately
Mhm.
indicted for, so they, meaning the prosecution, would say that this guy had no priors, no nothing. He was an upstanding citizen. She just killed him in cold blood, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
That is not true.
Mm.
This guy, now listen, he is a victim. He didn't deserve to lose his life, but it adds context for what happened.
Mhm.
He apparently was charged back in the 70s, so about 20 years prior, or maybe it was in the 60s, but either way, about 20 or so years
Mhm.
prior to his death,
Mm.
of sexually assaulting another woman.
Mm.
And I don't know what happened with that charge. I believe he
Mhm.
was charged and he was jailed for it, but I
Mhm.
don't know if
Mhm.
it was expunged or what happened or what. I don't know. Because I think he would have been in his late teens, early 20s when that happened.
Right.
If he was in his late teens, then that explains it could have been,
Mhm.
sealed, but that happened.
Mm.
What are the chances that this man for the next 20 years up until he met Eileen Wuornos wasn't doing similar things to other women? The
Mhm.
only difference with those women, if they exist, versus Eileen is Eileen killed him, and that came back to bite her in the ass. These
Right.
other women didn't kill him, and they also didn't report him because, ladies, say it with me, we
Mhm.
don't talk about when it comes to sexual assaults or rape or whatever because we're not believed or we think that nothing will happen or come of this. So why put ourselves through that? Or we're going to get blamed. What did we do? What were we wearing to cause this man to do something to us?
Mhm.
Those are the only differences. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
it's a
The
tough
thing is,
thing because I don't condone murder,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah. That's what I was gonna
but
say.
I
I don't.
understand her.
I,
That's where I
it's
understand her.
it's one of the most unsafe services, like in terms of like
Yeah, it is.
sex work
It is.
or contact work, if you want to call it that.
Well, it's
Um,
sex work is the politically correct
yeah,
thing to call it. Sex work, as they say, is the oldest job and whatever,
yeah,
which
yeah,
actually
yeah,
is midwifery.
yeah,
I heard that the other day, and I'm like,
yeah.
true, midwifery would be the oldest profession, but
Cause you don't know who comes through that door. You don't know if that person's
exactly.
crazy. You don't know if that person's on drugs. You don't know if that person has this. You don't know. You don't know this person at all. So like basically,
Or if they have an
uh,
ulterior motive. If their
yeah,
motive is
yeah,
not to have sex with you,
yeah,
it's to kill you.
yeah.
But at the end of the day,
y-
the most people who are do this
mhm.
don't have another choice. This is what they do. This is what they have to do in order to
Yeah.
feed themselves or feed their
Mhm.
kids, or
Mhm.
this is why, you know, governments are trying to um regulate sex work
Mhm.
so that it can be safer, so that
Mhm.
women are not and men are not putting themselves in risky
Rich. Yeah.
situations,
Mhm.
right? But,
Mhm.
you know, at the end of the day, it's just kind of the thing of, again, the differences between men who do sex work
Mhm.
versus women who do sex work is the
Yeah.
man is still going to be viewed as a hero or some whereas the women are viewed as whores. That's never gonna change. And that's what's sad because it's like, listen, at the end of the day, it's a job, you know? It
There.
may not be depending on how you feel about it. Some people love to be a part of sex work and good for you,
Mhm.
and they're really good at it, like
See,
whatever. So,
OnlyFans. Oh,
yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, I'm done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
OnlyFans is kind of changing that because like basically there are fans who do respect sex
Mhm,
workers in a lot of
mhm,
ways. So like basically fans of a lot of like these OnlyFans like adult stars that are
mhm,
respecting. Because I see it a lot on on like on Twitter, on a lot of these social medias that a lot of fans do respect them. You just have to you know weed the people who are basically trash that don't look at a lot of women like they're they're just whores, they're just a piece of nothing or the piece of shit or whatever you know so there is some progress in terms of people or men who do respect women who do those type of work. Even the conventions as well. There are conventions that where men go to those types of like I would say I want to say porn conventions as well.
mhm. Oh,
They do
conventions, yeah.
yeah, they do
Yeah, those aren't new.
respect. Yeah, huh?
Those aren't new.
Yeah, yeah, those were
Those have been
those
going
aren't
on
new.
forever.
Those are, yeah, those been around for forever, and there's progress there. There's a lot of progress towards uh men who are, who are very respectable towards like women, because they know it takes a lot of work, and there's a lot of unsafe situations with them, and
But
and
see, there's a huge difference between
mhm,
adult porn stars, which is obviously sex work, but it's
yeah,
very different because 9 times out of 10, if you're with, like, an actual,
mhm,
like, I don't know the right terminology, or like production or company or whatever,
yeah,
it's a lot safer of a situation, and
which is yeah,
within porn, they are
mhm,
trying to do better
mhm,
with consent, making
mhm,
sure, like, when you're watching certain things,
mhm,
that consent is being very much verbalized
mhm,
so that the viewer knows, this is what
mhm,
consent looks like or whatever.
mhm,
So, that's
yeah,
been changing a lot
mhm,
with those things, but it's also very controlled situations.
which is
Even with
can be
OnlyFans.
good. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, even with
yes.
OnlyFans, it can still
Mhm,
be very controlled
mhm,
because
mhm,
you are in control of who you're bringing into that, if you are bringing anyone into that to begin with.
mhm, mhm.
But
With like,
let's
how
call it, so it
pro
makes sense here, with
well,
prostitution,
escort as well. Yeah,
as well,
professional work.
escort prostitution,
Mhm,
that's a very different situation because you're not
in control.
you're not as much in control
Mhm,
as you may be in a difference depending on what you're doing. If you're, fully in control of, who you're seeing or whatever, then
mm,
maybe it's a little bit better. But there are situations where you are not in control of who you're seeing. You're just being, which is kind of maybe very close to sex trafficking, but like that's the difference
I mean,
between those two things.
there is some agencies that I'm not saying there's a lot of agencies that
No, there's
do.
not a lot of agencies, but some of those agencies cannot also be trusted
Mm,
because they're not fully vetting the
you're right
people
about that
who
as
are
well.
going
Yeah,
through those agencies.
yeah, yeah.
We've seen that before too. I don't know it off the top of my head, but there was definitely a true crime case where there was a woman who worked for an agency and was murdered by the person who went through the agency.
Mm,
Because all you have to do is give a false name. If you're not vetting those people properly,
mhm,
you give a
mhm,
false name, false identification, false everything,
mhm, mhm.
you're never going to be figured out.
Right.
So, no, those things are also like, honestly, I think the best bets if you are going to go into some form of sex work is
Mhm.
to be an adult porn star or do it completely by
Prefer.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Have people know where you're going as well. Like, for those people who know that the Gingo Beach victims, the the victim who was a sex worker,
Mhm,
um, and did everything right. I don't know if they know now if she was actually a victim of the actual person, because it's a different case. It's a very weird case, very
mhm,
convoluted, but there was a
mhm,
girl, I can't remember her name right now, but, she was a sex worker. She did everything right. She vetted the people. She had a driver who would drive her to her appointments and drive her back home. So she was always accounted for. She was never alone. She did everything right. And yet she was still either murdered or whatever happened to her, we really will never know.
mhm.
But, you know, she did everything right. So it's even when you do everything right, it's like still anything can happen. And it's insane. But
Mhm.
Eileen Wuornos is the kind of person who is like the face of women having to fight for our lives. And unfortunately, she just, yeah, she should have done prison time, and that's to be expected. There's no
Yeah,
other way this would have gone.
yeah.
But
I
to
just
put
don't.
her to death for trying to save her life is it's nuts. It's nuts to me. That's the
Yeah,
part for me.
it's there's a what do you call it? It's a mid. It's there's a middle ground with that. Like it's
Mhm.
kind of hard because like the way how she did was kind of wrong.
Mhm.
She should have. I mean, like what she should have done is like report it to the police.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. Yes, I agree. If she was able to do so, because she claims that the guy was trying to kill her. So what if he did
Mm.
kill her? This would be a very different story, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
that's the
it.
thing. He was choking her. She claims he was choking her,
Hmm.
I believe her. So if that was the case, then if she didn't protect herself or free herself, so she would be dead. She would have been dead. And then there's the other part that say, "Oh, why didn't you go to the police about it?"
Mhm.
Who's going to believe her? Who is
Mhm.
going to believe her? And that's again the thing where I say,
Right.
you as a man, you have the privilege to think that way. As a woman, we don't have the privilege to think that way. That we can
Mhm.
go to the police and they're going to believe us.
And then if you go to like the hotel manager, I don't think they would
They
have.
weren't in a hotel.
Oh, they were in a hotel.
They were in the middle of nowhere.
Okay,
They
that
drove into like
makes.
a forest and they were going to do what they were going to do there.
Okay,
'Cause
wow.
remember, also, sex work was illegal back then. We're
Oh,
talking the 90s.
okay,
I'm
90s.
not even
Okay,
sure if it's legal in Florida even now.
shit. Oh yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's. Hmm.
So
So
if you're
no,
in the middle
no.
of the woods by yourself with this
Yeah,
man who is
that's.
choking you, what are you gonna do? You gonna you're
I'm
gonna walk
thinking.
away from the situation, go to the police, and hope for the best? No,
Wow,
you're
I'm
gonna
thinking.
protect yourself.
I'm thinking this was in a hotel and everything,
No,
but if it's in the
this
forest,
particular murder was in none of the murders happened in like a hotel. They were all like outside, outdoors.
yeah, okay, that's dangerous. That
Hmm.
they wouldn't. Yeah, couldn't. You would have no time to. Okay, I
But
see.
even if you were at a hotel or a motel or whatever,
Uh-huh.
you're on your own. Especially on like those sleazy, cheap ass hotels.
Hmm.
You're on your own. No one gives a shit.
Yeah,
So no,
yeah, yeah. Okay. I just didn't agree with the murder
no,
session.
no, no. Don't get me wrong. I
It's a
don't
hard
agree with that
situation. Yeah,
either.
it's a hard situation because you're in a forest and you just
Mm,
yeah. That's yeah. I lean towards that as
you do what you gotta do to protect yourself.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
there's
no. Do I condone her choices to murder? No. Do I understand her? Absolutely.
mhm,
If I was in a similar situation and it's me or him,
mhm,
you damn well know I'm killing him in order to protect myself. That's
mhm.
why they say everyone is capable of murder. Just depends on the situation. And this was her situation.
Right.
7 times is nuts. But
Yeah.
1 time, maybe
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
is maybe understandable.
I know. I
It
understand.
maybe could
There's
have gone different.
yeah. I understand. Like it's a different era too, the 1990s. So
In the
there's
early
uh
90s.
early 90s.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's different era. Like
Like
there
91,
wasn't
92.
there wasn't like no cell phone, no cell phone. You had the block cell phone. So
If
so
that.
yeah. It's,
I
geez.
don't
So
think that she didn't have that, I can tell you that.
uh yeah. So yeah. Okay. I was. I was thinking modern.
Modern
Then I
time, it's
real
very different.
then I
But
realized early
even
19.
then, you may have cell phones or whatever,
Mhm,
but don't think your cell phone is foolproof, that you're safe with that.
mhm,
Someone could take your phone and throw it out the window,
mm,
break your phone. Just because you have a cell phone does not mean you are fully protected. because that
Mhm.
phone can be thrown out a window, that phone can be smashed, that phone, you know, and especially like if you don't have your location on, then you are not being found. If
Right.
you are unable to use your phone, you're not being found.
Mhm.
That's why my location is on because I want to be sure if anything,
Mhm.
I'll be found. Just a word of advice for people if your location is off on,
Mhm.
you know, you can control your location on certain apps and stuff. So
Yeah.
you don't have to use your location for everything that you use. But if your location is turned off on your main settings
Yeah.
and you, for some reason, are lost or you're kidnapped or just, you know, just you're just nowhere to be found by no necessarily violent reasons or whatever, or nefarious reasons, you will
Mhm.
not be found if your location is off. You just won't be
True.
found. So,
Well, there's a lot of people who just don't believe in that type of like technology. So basically, they like to turn off their location. So basically, um, can't really blame those types of people because they're they're then with that type of they're afraid that someone's tracking them. So um,
well, yeah, you are in a
yeah.
sense, yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but like, you know, it's just like obviously like if someone calls you
Hmm.
or whatever, like your phone's gonna ping off of towers,
Hmm.
right? But what if no one's
Hmm.
calling you? Then your phone's not pinging off anything. Now that doesn't mean anything. Your phone could be shut off or whatever, but still, like you want to be sure, like
Right.
just for
Yeah.
me and just my peace of mind is like, as a
Mhm.
woman, it's like, nah, I need to leave that on. So
Well, I agree. It's just that there's that set of people who just don't believe in it. So
no, I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So that was that one.
Hmm.
We'll move on to uh, a funnier one
Hmm.
than that. I watched Being Eddie. By Eddie, it was Eddie Murphy.
Okay, I figured it was Eddie Murphy. I
Yeah,
yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was great,
Hmm.
and it
Was it
was
a stand up?
no,
Okay.
it was very similar to the sense of like the Charlie Sheen type idea, except
Hmm.
this was totally different, obviously, because Eddie
Hmm.
Murphy has not dealt with the same things that Charlie Sheen has. But it
Gotcha.
was it was really interesting to kind of see his life from when he was a kid to
Hmm.
till now, and
Hmm.
like, we don't see a lot about him as a kid. I found like that, so that seemed really interesting to kind of hear him talk about his childhood and like the fact like his dad died when he was younger, and then the father that the man he sees as his father is actually his stepfather, and it was really interesting. Um, it was fun seeing Charlie Murphy, who is his brother, who if you don't know, he passed away a few years back, and it was kind of fun, kind of just seeing like these footage of him, um, and also that like to kind of hear Eddie Murphy talk about his brother's passing because like that's something we never, well, at least I never saw
Hmm. Hmm.
when his brother died. They didn't really see much about like how Eddie was feeling about it, but
Right.
in this doc you could see the emotion and the heartbreak that his brother's not here.
Mm.
Because like what I didn't know is Charlie Murphy actually was his bodyguard in the
Mm.
80s.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
was head of his security. So they
Yeah.
had a very close relationship. So you could really see that on
Yeah.
his face.
His brother is funny, Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy was
Yeah.
funny. He was very funny.
Mm.
Um, but Yeah, I mean, besides that though, kind of hearing him talk about the stand-ups that he did,
Hmm.
which I've watched, like obviously Raw, he had Delirious, um, which I've watched both of them. I can't even explain to you how funny Delirious is, how funny Raw is. It is okay. Have you seen any of his stand-up comedy? Like those, at least one of those two. Have you seen them?
Not really. No, no, I haven't
Okay,
seen.
I'm sorry, but
I heard
you need
things.
to
I
do
heard
some
things.
homework.
Yeah, I heard some. I heard it was his stand up was pretty funny. Yeah, no,
Yes,
I.
he is a ridiculously funny stand-up comedian.
Mhm.
That's what started his career was doing stand-up, obviously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But when he did, I mean, when he did Delirious, when he did Raw, it was at the height of his career.
Hmm.
But when I watched Delirious, I mean, I was crying of laughter. He is ridiculously funny. Raw was one I didn't know about Delirious before, but obviously Raw was one I've known since I was a kid. My
Hmm.
mom had like the VHS tape, um, and wasn't allowed to watch it obviously because
Hmm.
yikes. Um, but as an adult, obviously I watched Raw and it's so good. And I was kind of hearing him talk about that and the fact that he kind of lost his spark for stand up. He lost the spark for it. He That's kind of why he didn't do stand up again after that.
Hmm.
He kind of lost it. And but they kind of obviously talked about Beverly Hills Cop. They talked about um all the other kind of movies that he did in the 80s. I can't remember the names of all of them right now. Obviously I know the movies, but they're not all coming
Hmm.
to me right now. But ones that he did in the 80s. And I mean, when they when they started talking about um Welcome to America and they talked about this black man playing a white Jewish man. Oh God. Like I was just like, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even understand. One of the favorite okay, I'm sorry. Eddie Murphy is he's pivotal, I think, in most black homes. Just put that out
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
But Coming to America was is a movie that when we watch it in my house, the running joke is the Jewish man in the barber shop. The Jewish white man in the barber shop is the running joke in my house. Because at the end of the movie, y'all, if you don't know, y'all need to watch. But there's an end of the movie where the Jewish man is talking about an experience in a restaurant. And he's saying, I tell her, I say to the waiter, taste the soup. What do you mean taste? What's wrong with it? Taste the soup. What's wrong with the soup? What's wrong with it? Taste the soup. Okay, where's the spoon? Aha. It is the running joke in my house. And Eddie Murphy brought that to us. And it's just he's fantastic. I can't I don't know what else to say. He's fantastic. But they do talk about like the flops that he had with like Norbit, which that movie sucked. But they talk about that and how he had all these kind of flops. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna continue doing these flop ass movies. I'm gonna take a break. Because after he had the flops, it was after he had Daddy Daycare, which I love that movie. They did talk about the fact that he kind of turned into a lot more family friendly type movies, like Daddy Daycare, when he played Shrek, Mushu, that kind of, um, and Nutty Professor. But when he had the flop, he said, I took the break. No one said you were not giving you anything. I took the break because I didn't want to be known as a person who couldn't create more movies, who couldn't top himself. So he took a break. And the first thing he came back with is when he went on SNL.
Mm,
And he's like, that was like a coming home,
mhm,
obviously.
mhm,
So, I mean, I feel like with this documentary, I mean, he's kind of been doing a slow comeback honestly, with kind of doing the second coming to America. They just did another Beverly Hills Cop movie last
mhm.
year, which I have not seen yet, but he's been slowly making a comeback. So
Yeah,
I'm good about it. But yeah.
yeah.
What is your favorite Eddie Murphy movie before we move on?
Um. Oh God, I had to
Give
figure
me.
that out.
I'm
Uh,
gonna stump you.
let's see. Hmm. It's not coming to America.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Let me just see if I can find the movies because he has.
So many.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There's the first Thought to Doolittle, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a little one. Um, and then he was in Shrek. He's been in a lot of the
Yeah,
Shrek.
Donkey. Donkey.
Yeah, Donkey had Shrek. So
I
like
love
he's been
Donkey. You don't even know. I love
uh
that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
yeah. And then I would
Uh,
say the Nutty Professor.
yeah. See, that for me
Hmm.
is, I mean, I love Coming to America is probably one of the
Hmm.
top ones for me, but Nutty Professor, the reason I say that is probably that was probably the very first Eddie Murphy movie I
Hmm.
ever saw
Hmm. Hmm.
was Nutty Professor. Because I was young, I mean, when that movie first came out. And seeing this man play all of those characters
Hmm.
by himself. I mean, we talk about Tyler Perry being able to, no, no, no. Eddie Murphy walked so that Tyler Perry could run.
Right.
Tyler Perry couldn't even do that. Not the way Eddie Murphy could.
Hmm.
And that was the first movie I ever saw of him. And that's why it has to be kind of my favorite one because I loved Nutty Professor.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I remember being a kid and kind of being like, why does that guy sound like the mom? Why does the mom sound like the Nutty Professor? Like, why? And my mom was like, because they're all being played by the same person. And I'm like, what? I like 6 or 7 years old. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Like, how does he do that?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah,
Hmm. Hmm. I feel like his like worst movies were like
Norbit.
Adventures of that and Adventures of Pluto Nash. I watched that one.
Oh, Pluto
I was
Nash. I
uh,
forgot about that one.
I was I feel that was
I
terrible.
completely just expelled that from my brain. That movie sucked.
Yeah,
But
he, he has a lot of 50. He has a great and then a lot of like
yeah, there has really good or really bad.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
But
his.
his if you notice his really bad were
Hmm.
all around the same time, which is what he was saying. It was like he kept getting flop after flop after flop.
Hmm.
Was why
Hmm.
he's like, I'm done. Like, we're gonna stop here before before Hollywood decides they don't want to work
like
with me no more.
yeah, there's a lot of actors that have like more classics than garbage. Eddie Murphy was one of those people that had like 50-50. Like it's
Who?
just like there's actors that had more like great films
Hmm.
in their uh in their shelf, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
but it happens with every like classic actor, who's been around for at least the last 40 years or 30,
mhm,
40 years.
mhm,
Every actor has that. Not even just that, every artist, whether it's singer, actor, whatever,
mhm,
has
mhm,
that,
mhm.
has those moments, right? I mean, even Michael Jackson. Not all his music is great. You like it
Mm,
if you're a fan, but, like, I'm gonna be very blunt and very honest.
mhm.
Not all of his music is great, especially, like, the late '90s into the early 2000s, like, no, that wasn't that good. Not in
Oh,
comparison.
there's Michael Jackson super fans, so you don't want them to say
Oh, don't get me
otherwise.
twisted, I am too. I can say it,
I
you
mean, super
can't.
super fans, and like
No, but
super.
I'm saying, I can say that because I can be real.
Mhm.
But if you are not a Michael Jackson fan and you say that to me, I'll you up. Don't get me twisted,
You,
but I can be honest. In
yeah.
comparison to Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous,
Mhm.
history is not amazing, but it's good.
Mhm.
Blood on the Dance Floor, eh. Invincible, well, we all know You Rock My World just slaps, so that's totally
Mhm.
separate.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I mean, it's just not the same. It's kind of comes down to it's just not the same, and that is okay. Same thing with like Eddie Murphy. Not every Murphy is going to be Beverly Hills Cop or Nutty
Mhm.
Professor or, you know, the other movies that he's done that were hits Coming to America. It's not gonna be that. Sometimes you're gonna get Norbits or Norbert, whatever the hell that movie was called. Sometimes you're gonna get those. Or the Pluto Nash one you just brought to my memory that I didn't ask for.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that.
The Haunted House. That's another one.
Don't fuck me on that. Don't. I like that movie. Don't
Oh,
take Haunted Mansion away from me.
oh, there's people
I
that think that,
love the Haunted Mansion.
and people that think that it's a bad
Well, they're
movie.
wrong. They're wrong. I watched listen, during Halloween, because obviously they have the second one, right? I watched the second one because I find the second one scarier and I like that one.
Mhm.
So I was watching that one. I'm like, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna watch the original. So I did. And I'm
Mhm.
like, this movie's still good. What am I playing? This movie's still good.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed it. Anyone who didn't enjoy it can kiss my ass because I like it. Jennifer Tilly, get out of here. No, that movie's good. The butler, may he rest in peace because he's actually dead now.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, come on, you can't go wrong.
Mhm.
It's a great
Mhm.
movie.
Mhm.
The singing heads is great. Come on, no,
Mhm.
it's perfect. Okay, anyways, um,
And
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
the
The
last,
first,
sorry, you're gonna say,
yeah, no, Coming to America as well. There, you already talked about that or so. So
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
will admit
The
the
first one.
second one wasn't very good,
Mhm.
but it was good in the sense that we all wanted this. And you couldn't take that away from us. That is it, that is all. James Earl Jones was in that too. Yeah, he was alive when that came out, so he was in it.
Mhm.
You can't go wrong. Anyways,
Mhm. Mhm.
um,
Go ahead.
so the last one that I watched that I will talk about, that I've definitely talked about before as well, is, Selena Elosdinos'
Mhm.
Family Legacy, and this is about Selena, not Gomez, the original Selena. The Selena who Selena Gomez is named after. That's Selena.
Okay.
Yes. Do you know anything about Selena? Selena, I think it's Quintanillos. Do you know anything about her? Anything at all?
No,
Okay. Do you know the Jennifer Lopez movie where she plays Selena from the 90s?
I think
It was the
so.
90s.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, if you've seen the movie, that is Selena. That is
Oh,
who
okay.
she's portraying, Selena,
Oh.
where she, you know, she played to sang with her family. Um, and she she was murdered,
Mhm.
by her fan club manager, that bitch, um, who I think is out of prison now. Go find her, everybody. Anyways,
Yes.
so I'm not saying hurt her or anything, just saying find her. That's it. But anyways, this
Mhm.
is kind of about Selena. obviously, and about the family and the history of the Los Dinos, because if anyone who knows, her father, Abraham, was a part of a group prior to having children that was called Los Dinos.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that they kind of talked about a little bit of the history of that. And then they talked about obviously Selena and the start of Los Dinos with her sister, her brother, and others that would come later. Um, One of those others being Chris Perez, who she marries. So, yeah, like that's kind of what they kind of talked about. But what I loved about this documentary that
Mhm.
was very different than what we've seen kind of in the past,
Mhm.
um, is a little bit more participation from the family. Now, the family has always been a part of anything that's been done to represent Selena. The movie with J-Lo, the docu-series that they did, with, Kristen, I should say, Suratos, that they did a couple years back. The
Mhm.
family's always been involved, but this was very different because the family was front and center, which we have not
Right.
seen, um, very recently.
Mhm.
Her sister, her brother, her dad, her mom, Chris Perez, like, they were all involved in this. Other people who were part of Los Dinos, like, they were all there,
Mhm.
and they spoke on Selena growing up and how hardworking she was, that they talked about, her wanting to do her fashion line and how she dressed herself and she dressed everybody. And it was just a very different look at her. They
Mhm.
didn't paint a lot of focus on her murder itself or the murderer, that bitch. Um,
Mhm.
they did not focus so much on that, but of course they focused on what it did to them, how it affected them, which it was a lot different to kind of hear it from them.
Mhm.
And how, like, it broke my heart hearing her sister talk about the fact of her and Selena would talk about marriage and raising their kids together, and the fact that obviously that never happened. They never had that opportunity. And although, again, I don't know how much you know, but Selena and her husband, Chris, when they got married secretively. They didn't tell anybody
Mhm.
until they had no choice, but they had to tell everybody. And obviously they were mad in the moment. Obviously her dad probably wanted to kill him, but
Mhm.
they look back at it and they're like, as upset as maybe the family was, especially initially, they're happy about the fact that she got to experience being a wife.
Mhm.
She died very young. She was 23, 24.
Mhm.
She was very young and married for a very short time because this bitch, I'm not gonna say her name, you're not gonna make me, um, just took her life away from her
Mhm.
because she was stealing from Selena, and
Right.
because Selena confronted her, she was murdered.
Mm.
That bitch should have killed herself when she had the chance. Sorry, I'm gonna take that out. But that's what she wanted to do. If
Mhm.
anyone who saw the movie knows that she was like, "I'm gonna kill myself,"
Mm.
while sitting in her stupid red truck. I'm done. Okay. Because anytime I watch anything having to do with Selena, I cry because it's like
Mhm.
it still hurts. It's been 30 years.
Mhm.
Yeah. She died in 95, 96.
Sad.
Yeah. So it's been almost 30 years. And it's like, or March 2026 will be 30 years.
Mhm.
And it's like her life was robbed from her at the peak of transitioning from doing uh I'm gonna get the type of music incorrect, but Teherno or Teher. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But she did mainly her music was she sung in Spanish. And she was American born, but she sung in Spanish, and she was going to be transitioning from that to doing an English album, which is why we have two songs of hers that are in English, but she didn't get to actually complete the album. And she was at her peak. She had just won a Grammy. She was doing it, and this bitch. Anyways, it's a really well done documentary.
Mhm.
If you are a fan of Selena, definitely watch it, because it is really nice kind of hearing from the family, which is kind of why I definitely wanted to watch this, was because it was going to be from the perspective of the family, and I really wanted to watch it because of that. So it was really good.
That's good. That's
Yeah. Anyway, that is the last thing I
Mhm.
watched that I can talk about because the only things that I've been watching besides that is True Blood. I'm
Mhm.
loving True Blood. Oh my God.
Mhm.
I love Sookie. I love Bill. Eric is doing it for me. I'm
Mhm.
just, I love Tara. I love Lafayette so much. I'm loving True Blood. It's so good. I don't know how this wasn't a part of my life before. I'm on
Mhm.
season 3.
Mhm.
The king of Mississippi just killed that guy on television. I'm here. Okay, that's it.
okay. All right. Yeah, a lot of documentaries that you watched.
A lot of
Oh,
documentaries,
that's a lot
yeah.
of
But I mean, I
documentaries.
had docu-series as well, but
Docu-series? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
that's
had two? Two?
mm,
I can't remember. 1 or 2.
mm,
But yeah, no, that's what I've
mhm,
been doing. But again, like most of my time has been spent watching True Blood
mhm.
because yeah, because I love it so much.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right. All right.
you want to do
So,
your news thing and I'll do
yeah,
mine after.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, I didn't watch, like I said, I didn't watch anything on Netflix this month. So, uh, you'll see me watching something in January 2026. So stay tuned for that. But yes, I do have a little bit of news here. So this article that I just like found on why record labels are suddenly pushing Spotify and Apple Music to copy Netflix. This is written by Jeff Smith. Let me see where the article is from. It's from Men's Journal. Um, so basically, the article says, while the video streaming platform like Netflix and Disney Plus have aggressively adjusted their models to maximize revenue, the music world has remained in com- competitively steady. Unfortunately, that might be about to change. According to a new report, major record labels have begun putting serious pressure, real pressure, on several of the music streaming giants, including Spotify and Apple Music. I don't know what the other several music giants there is. Oh
I'm
well,
not sure. I think
j-
there are
yeah,
others.
there is. I forgot iHeart, and then you had
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's other ones, Drizzer. Um, one of the words no one ever wants to hear is attached to pricing in inflation. Uh, but that is the premise behind the report issue. In short, music subscriptions are lagging behind inflation, leading to push for these services to watch, learn, and follow along with the TV streaming juggernaut. The Netflix gap on why labels say music streaming is too cheap. Okay, so there's another paragraph that explains that as viewers have watched the price of television streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and several other rise to the audio world has been far less significant. However, according to Financial Times, the pressure is on for the likes of Spotify and Apple Music, as major record labels reported believe subscription remains cheap. The major record labels have been pressuring Spotify, Apple Music, and other music streaming platforms to increase their fees, and arguing prices have lagged inflation. Subscriptions remain cheap compared to video service such as Netflix, and the report states. As it explains that current Spotify subscription in the United States costs $11.99. Now I don't know how much is that in Canadian. I think that's basically
Well, I'll
uh
say this is for
yeah.
Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So for Spotify, for me, what I pay for Duo,
Mhm.
um, believe it's God, I feel like it's more than I think. I think it's about,
It's 12.60.
um, I don't know why I think it's 20 something, but
Mhm.
I can probably just double check that right now as I'm so that we can have
Du
accurate.
Duo $17.89.
Okay, so that probably with tax is about 18,
Mhm.
$19 or so. But
Individual Yeah, individuals is $12.69, and then families $20.99.
yeah.
Now, students have it $6.39 per month for eligible students. So, yeah, yeah. So based on that article, and the rest is just just gonna almost confirm the same thing. So I think Spotify did respond with that. Uh so there's an article on CNET um as far as November 25th. And that's 5 days ago as we record. Spotify will reportedly get more expensive next year. Here's what to
Great.
expect. And this is their public response to it. After announcing it is raising prices in regions including Europe, South Asia, and Latin America, Spotify is reportedly about to increase prices again in the US. The US is included in the latest Spotify price hike on its premium service starting in early 2026. According to Financial Times, which cited sources familiar with the music streaming company dealing for now, the least expensive premium plan in the US starts at $12, but the price hike would likely put it in line with other regions where the premium plans cost about $14 a month. So yeah. It just states like basically what we just talked about like the other plans, and um yeah, basically stating that that steady increase. um That's basically what the article says. So yeah, that's basically almost Spotify's response. Apple Music has not responded, I believe. I don't think so.
Mhm.
I believe Apple Music is like, cheaper than Spotify in a lot of ways. So I believe that I was always wondering why music was cheap and they should have been raising their prices as well, but like at the same time, why? Why? Why are they doing this? Maybe because like it's expensive to hold the license onto the platform.
Mm, I don't
So
know.
so I don't agree with these price
Nope.
hikes at all.
Nope.
Um, but I understand why music labels are doing this because they want to make more money, and they're not making any money with these like current prices of uh cheapflation, if they want to call it that. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's a sad thing that it's a lot of people are gonna look into pirating music again if
If that's even
they.
possible. I mean,
Yeah,
it is possible, but
it is
it's like, do
possible.
you want to waste time doing that?
Yeah,
Depending on what
yeah,
avenue you take.
and Spotify and Apple Music don't do like yearly increases like Netflix. They haven't. They did like small increases, like here and there, like every
No, they've
like
definitely
upstream.
increased. My subscription has increased, and they
But like
increased it this year.
yeah, but like they haven't like really like they're not like Netflix that do it like every single year, right? They
Netflix
have
doesn't do it
used it
every
last.
year.
Are you
I've
are
never
you
found.
pretty
I
sure?
don't find. No, I don't find that
Are
they
you sure?
increase it every year.
I'm pretty sure they have done it like
No, they've increased it,
yeah,
of course, but not
yeah.
every year.
Last year they increased. The year before that
Maybe
they
maybe
increased.
last year, but I don't think it's a yearly thing.
I I,
I don't recall
well,
it being a yearly thing.
I do recall it being real because like every single article I see and every single like conference call I see, they're always looking to increase prices on a yearly basis. Like it just because they're looking to invest more into their content, and that's the thing. Like um with Netflix and uh Disney Plus. I
They
don't
have
think so.
increased,
Yeah, they did increase, but like they haven't
not
done it for
yearly, but
yearly.
it.
But Netflix, I noticed that yeah, it's been
I
yearly.
don't
That's
know
why
if
it's
it's
around.
yearly.
That's
It's
why.
definitely increased. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, what I've paid 10 years ago versus what I pay now is more. But I feel like that last major increase was maybe 2 years ago. Maybe about that. Like, I don't think it's like a yearly thing. Unless I just missed something, but I don't think it's a yearly thing. But when they increase, it increases a lot. That's what I notice. So, but yeah, like Disney Plus increases, I think that is yearly. Now they do that yearly. Other streaming services I've noticed those like will do it yearly as well.
Yeah.
Like Discovery Plus does it. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like Spotify does increase. If it's not yearly, it's every other year because I've had at least
Hmm.
2 or 3 increases since I've had Spotify, and I have not had Spotify that long.
Wasn't weren't they like 9.99? What's that? Wasn't that the original price at the
Who?
pot at the Spotify?
Um, I don't know if it was 9.99. Again, I've used Duo, but when I started with the Duo, which was 2022,
Mhm.
it was 12 and change for a Duo. And now, since then, it's been only 3 years, it's increased to almost $20. That doesn't happen at one shot. That has increased over time. Recall there being at least at minimum. So I think that I just decided to do a search. It's a little confusing, but it
Mhm.
says that Okay, so yeah, here we go. In the United States, the last US price increase was in July 2023, with another increase planned for early 2026. For Canada, prices were last increased in October 2024, following a previous rise in July 2023. That is what I remember, that there was two increases in the last 2 years.
The year before that,
It just said
2022. No,
I
I
didn't
don't
say anything
remember.
about 2022. And it wouldn't have mattered for me because I started my subscription in 2022, so I can't speak to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
Well.
yeah,
Yeah.
for Canada, there has been two increases in since 2023. So 2023,
Mhm.
2024. And that is what I
Mm.
remember.
Mm.
And yeah, and then obviously other places is different, but they've done increases in other regions this year. So
Mm.
yeah, no. They will do increases. It's just a matter of with this situation, what does an increase look like? Is it a couple bucks or is that going to be more than a couple bucks? That's the question. So that's a little different.
Mhm.
Whereas like
January. Mhm.
Netflix, I feel like when they did their major increase, it was significant. And then I think they did many ones after that, but it was a significant jump. That is what I'm questioning with Spotify or Apple
Mm.
Music.
Mhm.
Is that what they would do? Would they do a massive jump?
See, there's an article right here that says Netflix raises monthly subscription prices in US and Canada. And the article is January 14th, 2022.
And that's 2022 though.
Yeah, I'm saying from
Yeah, but what
2022,
has happened
2023.
since then?
Prices have
Because
increased.
you're saying the article is dated in 2022?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but then what's happened since then? That's 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
And then probably another hike increase in 2023 as well.
But
And then
but you're only basing that off of
mhm,
that article that's dated nearly 4 years ago.
mhm.
So what you need to be doing is when did Netflix last up increase? And like I did with Spotify.
Let me see. Hold on. Da-da-da. So Netflix hasn't raised a monthly subscription price by 1 to 2 per month in the United States, depending. And this is probably previous in 2021, going to 2022. On the plan to company
Okay.
said on
No, here, I
yeah
found something a little easier than
yeah
what you just
yeah
did.
yeah yeah yeah.
Netflix increased prices across two or more plans in 2014, 2017, 2019, 2020, 2022, and in 2025. So there has not been an increase since 2022,
Okay. Okay.
but they were doing yearly or so up increases
Okay. So I was
starting in 2019
okay.
until 2022. So yeah, that's what's happened. That's why I was questioning you. I'm like, don't remember Netflix increasing um prices in a yearly basis.
Yeah, I just been with Netflix for over like 10 years to avoid
Yeah,
that.
I've been with them
It
since
feels like it's
2015.
been yearly.
I get that
Yeah.
but there was because in 2015 or 16 or maybe it was actually 2017, there was a significant jump. I remember that. It was significant. It was
Mhm.
like you were paying $10 a month, and all of a sudden now you're spending like $16 a month.
Yeah.
And then it slowly went up to
Yeah.
whatever your whatever plan you have
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
then increased.
Mhm.
That happened though, but I know there has not been because I remember I know Disney Plus did one this year. I know Discovery Plus
Mhm.
did one I think was last year.
Yeah.
I know these things. And I know Spotify did one last year as well, I remember. But when you said Netflix, I'm like, "No, I don't remember that because I didn't I would you would get emails.
Mhm.
You when they wouldn't just do it. You get a heads up that they're doing it, especially if you already have an existing, thing. They tell you. So I'm like, "No, it doesn't make sense."
Mm.
But, yeah, no. They did one apparently in 2025, which I vaguely remember that. I remember vaguely them saying they were increasing in 2025 with all the changes and stuff.
Mm.
But
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna be too impressed. If like if it raises price, if they raise the
no,
price to because it's
I
going to be
wouldn't either.
yeah. So hopefully it's not like a yearly thing. Um.
No, hopefully not. But like I know for me, if that is the case and they increase, my boyfriend's gonna have to help me pay for it because I pay for the Spotify that he uses. So no, if it's gonna if it gets any more than that,
Mhm.
yeah, no, he's gonna have to start pitching in because I ain't
Mm.
the only one using it.
Mm.
So
Well, Apple Music has not responded, so I'm not sure if
yeah,
they're looking into it or they're just going to quietly, basically, just increase it with an
maybe.
article, and
Well, not
so
very quietly. They have to tell you they're increasing it. They can't just increase it.
you know what I mean, sneakily,
Yeah, I guess you.
post an article and just drop
Because
an
not
article.
everyone's gonna see this article or read this article and
Yeah,
whatever.
so
But yeah.
yeah, but yeah, just not impressed. Not impressed. Don't just please don't do the Netflix model. The model it's getting expensive with streaming services. So I'm like,
hmm
anyways, go ahead. Do your
Okay. So the final thing that we're doing here is um news that I have that's Netflix related. So Aggregate Films and August Night are producing the true crime pick Evil Genius. Did you watch Evil Genius on Netflix? The documentary? Did you watch it on Netflix when it came out a few years back?
evil no.
Okay. Well, I'll be talking about it. What okay, I'll be talking about it a little bit here. So the Evil Genius with Patricia Arquette and David Harbour,
Mhm.
starring and starring Courtney Cox, and she's also directing. So
Right.
it's inspired by the acclaimed true crime documentary series by Barbara, I think it's Shorter, sorry,
Mhm, mhm,
and
mhm,
Troy Borzilli. Sorry, these names. The script was penned by WGA nominee Courtney Miles.
mhm,
So the film explores the true crime story of the infamous pizza bomber. You heard me right.
mhm,
Fair warning, if you haven't watched Evil Genius, the documentary, and you are curious to now watch the documentary, trigger warning, you see the bombing. You see the bombing.
mhm,
That's all I'm going to say is you see the bombing.
mhm,
It's,
mhm, mhm.
I literally see it in my head right now.
Right.
Oh God, it's horrific. Anyway, that delves into the more deeply human story of deception, desperation, and the line between victim and villain. Also joining the cast are Michael Shurness, Garrett Delahunt, Danielle McDonald, Tom
Mhm,
McCarthy,
mhm,
Gregory Allen Williams, Ryan Eggold, Omen, I think it's Tag or Teague, um, and Harlow Jane. Quote, I've been fascinated by Evil Genius since I first saw the documentary, said Courtney Cox. It's stranger than fiction, at moments darkly funny, yet deeply emotional. A story about love.
mhm,
Where's the love?
mhm,
Okay. Loneliness, manipulation, and the people on the fringes who get pulled into something much more bigger than themselves.
mhm.
Um, so of course, if you don't know who Courtney Cox is, which rock have you been living under? She's known for Friends,
Yeah.
who play Monica, Cougar Town. I completely forgot about Cougar Town. And obviously, my favorite, Scream. Um, but Cox has directed across various genres and mediums from music videos, oh, really, and short form projects to television and feature films. She made her directorial debut with the film Talahot Blonde, all of which I never heard of, also based on a documentary by Barbara Shorter. Okay. Um, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, the the gist of this is they are making a movie or some sort of docu-series type thing some dramatization of Evil Genius, and it it hmm, it's gonna be interesting. That's for sure, because this documentary is twisted. It
Mm.
is twisted. It's crazy. You literally, a member start off with the quote unquote bomber.
Right.
It's it's nuts. It's nuts. It's there's bodies in freezers. It's nuts. It's if you haven't watched Evil Genius, that is one I highly recommend as well.
Mm.
That is an incredible documentary. It is twisty, it is turny, and you literally leave the doc after watching the documentary being, what the hell did I just watch? It is, but it's so good. It is really good. So it'll be really interesting to see this being dramatized. So I don't know when that's coming, but it's in the works.
Okay.
Anyways, I think
All right.
that's it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, everybody. This ends this episode of the Next Tape Podcast. The Next Tape Podcast is available on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanika.
Next Day Podcast, podpage.io.
And what else we
Facebook
have?
and Facebook and Instagram at Next Day Podcast, and Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Next Day Pod.
And you can contact us on our email at mikeltanika@gmail.com. That's mikeltanika@gmail.com. So this Netflix monthly series was basically about docu-series, documentaries, and um streaming
Movies.
services becoming Netflix.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um that's pretty much it.
That's
And
our last Netflix episode for
yeah, the year.
the year.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with another one in
Mm-hmm.
January.
January.
Yeah, end of January. We'll be back with another one.
Don't expect Christmas movies from January. So I'm not watching
I
them.
mean, there's a couple that I have my eye on, but I don't know yet. I don't know.
What
We'll see.
what
We'll
like
see.
Hallmark movies? Is it
No, I
Hallmark?
don't do Hallmark, but I mean,
It's,
some of these movies are very similar to a Hallmark feel. So yeah,
yeah.
I usually watch at least one of them.
Mhm.
Like last year was the Hot Frosty one. Oh
Mm.
God, that movie was so bad. But it was
Yeah.
funny. It was so bad.
Mhm.
But there was that one, and then I did watch the Lindsay Lohan one where she was uh, her and her ex were at the same place. Yeah, that actually was really good. I enjoyed that one actually.
Mhm.
That was a good movie. But yeah. So I'll watch like a couple. We'll see, but like yeah.
Speaking of Lindsay Lohan, have you heard well, this was probably gonna be for another episode. Anthony Anderson hosting the Emmys?
Did I hear about Anthony Anderson hosting the Emmys? No, I
Yeah.
didn't hear about that. Why?
Did you see the video on YouTube of him like yeah. You saw that video?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
did.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
been trying to pretend like it didn't happen
I've been
personally.
it's been going viral. I just
It's
recently
been
saw
for a
from
while.
yeah.
It's been I think that first came out like a few months ago.
And it's just like
Yeah.
some revamped it because like he's hosting
So
the
he's hosting the Emmys.
yes.
So he hasn't been canceled.
Mm, not technically.
God, we're getting into territory. I don't that's but he said that at all to her.
That's another comedian that was
Yeah.
yeah, that was during the Eddie Murphy era.
But it's hard for me to
Yeah.
wrap my mind
Yeah.
around
Yeah, something like that.
Anthony Anderson saying things like that to
Mhm.
somebody.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
here's the thing. You want to know something? This is
Yeah.
dark, y'all.
Yeah.
So that happened. Obviously, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me now to watch. There's one particular scene in Scream 4,
Mhm.
because he's in Scream 4,
Yeah.
where he makes a comment. He's a cop in Scream 4, and he makes a comment about one of the teenagers who gets killed.
Right.
But he makes a comment about one of them being like, basically talking about her in a sexual manner. And
Mhm.
it's like, you're supposed to be an adult cop. Now, it's the writing, but you're
Mhm.
supposed to be an adult cop
Mhm.
talking about who is technically a teenager in the movie.
Right.
And although it always rubbed me the wrong way, even before all this came out, because again, this movie's it's been out since 2010, I think. Um, it rubbed me the wrong way then. Oh, but when I watched that movie after this came out,
Mhm.
it rubbed me even rubbed me really, really wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yikes. No one thought that through, huh? No one thought
Yes.
that through? Okay.
No.
Well,
No. It was just comedic
people
line
think it's
for
funny, but it's not
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That was the thing with Dave Chappelle. He wants to make jokes about trans people, but sir, it's not funny. None of this funny.
Mhm.
What's
Mhm.
funny
Mhm.
about transgender rights?
Mhm.
About transgender people in general? It's not funny. You can be funny
Mhm.
without being gross. You could learn a thing or two from people like Eddie Murphy or no, you can't say Bill Cosby. Yeah, you can't say that. Never mind.
I mean, to be fair, I want to give the Dave Chappelle, and I don't think he's as funny as he used to be. To be honest with you, it is
Am I
his
wrong if I say
opinion.
that I never
It's
thought
a,
Dave Chappelle was funny?
I never. Well,
I never really thought he was funny.
The Dave Chappelle show was pretty funny. I have to
No, I
admit.
get that, but that's
Yeah,
also a
his
controlled situation.
yeah
I don't think
his
he's funny.
his stand up hasn't, in
No,
my opinion,
that's what I
hasn't been
mean.
fun to
I
me.
like Dave
So.
Chappelle in a controlled situation,
Mhm.
like the Dave Chappelle show, or he was also in Blue Streak. I thought he was hilarious in Blue Streak,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I think his stand-up sucks. I don't find him funny.
Mhm.
I don't find him at all funny.
Mhm.
When you
Mhm.
have like the greats like Steve Harvey, I mean, that guy's funny. His stand-up was funny.
That's
You
another
know,
story too. Steve Harvey's another story as well.
don't
Anyways.
don't do this to me.
No, he's not like in the, but like
Don't do this to me.
when it comes to
Don't.
his advices, oh my god, terrible,
Okay, I'm not talking
terrible.
about that though, but like I don't care about that.
Yeah, but
But don't
he's
don't
not.
don't take him away from me. I will hurt people. Listen to me.
See,
I'll hurt people.
that's that Steve Harvey show
Too
is
much has been taken from me
cringe.
when it comes to black. I like the Steve Harvey show. What are you talking about?
Steve Harvey
Oh, do you
shows.
mean the talk show or his
The
actual like
talk show, his
sitcom?
talk show is
Oh no, I don't
cringe.
want his talk show. I don't want his
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
show.
yeah. When it comes to
I don't want.
advices and telling about women, I'm
No,
like,
no, no. Well, because
you,
I
what?
think he thinks that he can say something because he had the book Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman. But it's like, come on. I like the movie. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. I never read the
yeah,
book though.
yeah.
But um, but no, like I do
His talk show is
this. No,
his
when you
talk
said
is
Steve
funny.
Harvey show, I'm thinking the sitcom, which I liked the
Oh,
sitcom.
sitcom? Oh no, a talk
Sitcom I
show.
liked, but
It's
no,
his talk
no,
shows garbage, in my opinion.
no, no,
Like
no. I don't watch it.
he's, I want, I'm always for women, but like he is basically like he turns it up a notch
Yeah,
to 1,000. I'm like, and
but
there's
it's
some
been on the
statements I
air
can
for a long
do.
time,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it must be doing something right. I
Oh,
just don't personally watch it myself.
yeah, yeah. Well,
No,
anyways,
no,
okay.
no. I
So,
like Steve Harvey. Just don't
but
take him away from me.
yeah, those two,
I've
we'll have
lost
another,
enough.
we'll have another episode with those. So talk about them in the near future.
Yeah,
And
no.
yeah,
Listen, Bill Cosby up for everybody. I don't need another comedian being taken away from me. Don't do it. Okay, I'm done.
all right. So I'm Mikel, and
And I'm Tanyka.
we're out until
Thursday.
Thursday. See you guys.
Bye.